Hey guys, Snowman back out in the shop again. You get inspiration from the strangest places sometimes. Now, I don't call YouTube a strange place to get inspiration, but there's this guy I've started watching his woodworking videos. His name is Steve Ramsey, and he has some really damned interesting ideas for using reclaimed wood. Now, that's what I do. I use scraps, I use old fence board, whatever I can get my hands on that I don't have to pay for because I'm broke. Anyways, now my father and I had to do some repair work to the fence out in the backyard, temporary bracing, because the guy who put our fence in a couple of years ago did a crap job. And so far, three of the concrete piers have cracked in half, and one of the fence posts split 2 inches below the concrete line, and the fence is only 4 years old. Go figure. You, the guy, I was a little curious why the guy came in and ran through with a chainsaw and a nail gun to do the fence as fast as possible and then bolt. Now I know why. But anyways, after bracing the fence at least enough so that it would stand up to the recent windstorms we've been having coming through rolling through Sacramento, we had some pieces of wood left over. So I have large chunks of wood now. I mean, granted, yes, they're just let's see, hemlock for 2x4s. So not the best quality wood, but being such a large piece of wood, and also I have these, I'm not entirely sure what wood these are, so if anyone can tell by the grain, go ahead and leave your comment in the comments below the video. These stakes were originally going to be to hold the 2x4s to the ground so that they wouldn't slide around if it did get windy again. These would not penetrate the rock hard soil we have in the backyard, so we ended up using iron stakes instead. So using these and the 2x4s, I'm going to take a page out of Steve Ramsey's book and attempt to make my first bandsaw box. Now, for those of you who haven't watched his videos or even know what a bandsaw box is, it is literally a one drawer chest, or in my case it's going to be a hinge top chest, made almost completely on the bandsaw except for detail work. Now me being who I am, I'm going to take it a step further, and I'm going to probably slice a layer off of the top of the 2x4 and do some scroll work in the top of it to give it a little fancier design, of course. And either that, or I'm going to layer in some of the old cedar fence board to, because a chest that deep and having a bottom and a top out of the same wood, it's not going to be a very deep chest. Plus, it's only a 2x4, so it's not going to be very much bigger than a simple jewelry box. So I think what I'll do is I'll layer some old fence board top and bottom to give it color contrast and some more thickness to the box. So the challenging part is going to be hollowing these bad boys out and stacking them in a way that I get rid of that radius seam in the center, so it looks like a solid piece of wood. So I have some sanding, I have some cutting, I have some designing to do. Yeah, this one I'm probably not going to be able to do on the fly like I've done with other pieces. I'm probably going to have to think this out and actually measure things so the damn thing sits straight. But next project, next adventure. So I'll keep you guys posted. My father's sign is kind of on the side burner right now. I'm still trying to figure out what type of a frame I want to do for it, and figure out what finish I'm going to use on it to seal the wood. I'm going to try and get my hands on some Dutch oil, like I've seen used in so many woodworking videos, and see if that'll work. Also, I'm going to be still have to figure out what wood I'm going to make the frame out of. I don't want to use one more time in English. I'm not going to use more fence board wood for the frame on a sign that's already made out of the fence board. All the detail will get lost in all that gray and white color. So, alright guys, well anyways, next project, next adventure, more to come guys. Well, obviously, doing things by hand like this, not using any type of a guide or a jig or anything, the piece is not going to be 100% square, but the table's already been leveled out to the belt, so it's about as square as it's going to get. So I'll be pretty happy with the results from here. Like I said, this is just a start. I'm going to be doing quite a bit of milling to the wood to get it to size, get this part of the wood hollowed out. I still have to cut this board to size. I've already cut the other 2x4 down to the size of the chest that I'm going to make, so I have a little bit of trimming to do, and then we'll go from there. The main reason for sanding the wood is so that when I put the sliding T-square up against it, it has a nice flat surface so it won't rock in any direction, so that when I go to cut the ends off, they will actually be square. Okay, well that first cut didn't do what I wanted it to. I ended up with only getting a little cookie cut off of the end of it, so you can see by how tapered the piece of wood is that the end was not square at all. So I'm glad I figured that out before I tried to go any further and base my dimensions off of the factory cut. Well, simple work from here. Line the ends up, make sure they're the same size and all that. One more cut and I'll have the wood for the body of the chest, and then I just have to figure out top, bottom, legs and all that. Now, okay, granted, you guys who've seen videos in the past, and my claim earlier in this video saying it's not reclaimed wood, it's brand new wood. But it goes with what I normally do. Scrap wood that normally would either be thrown away or used as a doorstop and completely wasted, I'm going to make a project that somebody can actually use. Now, granted, okay, sure. How many people actually use a jewelry box that's made out of 2x4s? Well, not that many, but the box can be used for anything, to store anything else. Jewelry box is just one of the options. Alright, I'm going to pause the video here while I do some more loud sanding and other such nonsense, and I'll be right back. Okay, so ends of the 2x4s are nice and smooth. Sanded them off after getting a nice square cut after sanding the sides off. I know. Sanding, 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 and more sanding. Well, welcome to woodworking. But, now I've noticed that there are some, I'm not sure how well you can be able to see them, but yeah, let's try turning that damn light off again. There are some blemishes on the wood, tool marks from something, and where they rounded the corners off, it's starting to tear away a little bit. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to hit all these cornered edges or radiused edges on the router table with a 1/4 round bit and go from there. Not going to give it the rustic rough look. It's going to be more of a finished look, but at this point I don't want people getting splinters. Right? Right. Okay. So, pause again. Well, one of the problems of filming a video out in the wood shop, everything gets covered in sawdust. Instead of going the wasteful way and just sanding and sanding and sanding the top of the 2x4 until I get rid of the radius on 2 of the corners, what I ended up doing is, okay, woodworkers who know what they're doing, you're going to bitch about this, but it was the only thing I could think of. Probably the best way to shave off the tops of the 2x4s was to use a table saw, like the one you see behind me, over here somewhere. No, over there, off camera. But since I haven't started using the table saw yet, but I really do know how to use a bandsaw, I ended up setting up a rip fence on the bandsaw and shaving one side of the entire length of the 2x4. And since this is going to be the inside of the box, the cut doesn't have to be pretty. I can sand it flat enough to be fine, and I still have the radiuses on the other side of the board for the original look that I was going for. So what I'm going to do now is I still have to figure out how I'm going to hollow this out. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to cut all the way through and layer another piece of wood on top, which kind of defeats the purpose of saving the radius, but it's a work in progress, so as everything else is in this stuff I do. Not entirely sure what I'm going to save these little 1/16th, not even 1/16th of an inch thick pieces of wood for, but because they came off absolutely solid and no splits or cracks anywhere, I can't throw them away. I'll find a use for them somewhere. Just not sure. Whew, excuse me. Not sure where. So, to Steve Ramsey, I do seriously appreciate the inspiration from all your videos, and hopefully this box comes out at least halfway as decent as some of the boxes I've seen on your work. What I may end up doing is cutting into the 2x4 and actually slicing it so that I can cut a U out of this part of the wood, but that will make the ends very brittle, so I probably won't go quite that far. What I may end up doing is seeing if I have a heavy enough blade to try and cut wood that thick on the scroll saw and just go very slowly. I highly doubt it, but it's worth a try. Beyond that, I'm going to take a break for now. Reload the caffeine, Captain. It's time to get to work.